All right, welcome into the Newport This Week video podcast series. I'm Bill Bartholomew. Remember, you can find each and every episode of the podcast wherever you're listening right now, of course, but also the Newport This Week YouTube channel and on newportthisweek.com. So something near and dear to my heart, and that's the arts, and that's advancing the arts, obviously through strategic investment. Charles, if you want to introduce yourself, and we'll get the conversation started.
My name is Charles Kehres. I have lived in Newport for uh, 20 years or so, and I've been on the board of the Arts and Cultural Alliance since about 2016. And so I'm here to talk about our two awards we have deadlines coming up for, and about what the ACA is. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's start with the Leroy White Award. Anybody who doesn't know who Leroy was and will always be, I'll tell you right now from personal experience as being a part of the arts and music community in Newport, that Leroy White was an artist and somebody who lived the life of an artist to the fullest. And that, of course, not only includes the works, but also includes the consequence of those works, which is quite frankly having a huge impact on the community. Uh, since his passing, a Leroy White Award has been awarded. The Arts and Cultural Alliance of Newport County and the Leroy White Family Foundation are now accepting nominations for the third annual Leroy White Soul and Conscience Award. It's a $5,000 award. Tell us about this and how people can apply and what you're looking for criteria wise.
Yeah, so Leroy White posthumously was awarded our Dominique Award, which is an award for anyone who's a large contributor to the Newport art community, who doesn't just perform, but really just kind of helps broaden the awareness of the arts. So he was awarded that, and then his family came to us and said they'd like to start this special award in honor of him, to help promote uh, local performers, local musicians specifically, um, that can be used in any way. I mean, if they just need to pay their groceries, that's that would be nice to give it to them if they deserve it. Um, so so yeah, so we have given it out since 2022, and um, yeah, we are still accepting applications until the 15th. And you can go to newportarts.com, or our email address also, which is what is our email address? Um, Newport Arts, newportarts at gmail.com. Sorry. And yeah, so that's the Lever White Award. We've given it out. We've had some great recipients. One award winner created a relationship with the family and then took over Leroy's studio to do gigs and record and all that kind of stuff as well. So it's really just it's a great way to support the local performers in town.
Absolutely. And that award, of course, open to anybody, any age demographic. Then there's the Tinney Family Arts Scholarship, which is a $2,000 scholarship open to any Newport County high school senior who plans to continue their arts education after graduation. It's anybody studying fine arts, visual arts, performing arts, the literary arts, meaning creative writing, poetry, music, performance and composition, theater. Qualification, the applicant needs to live in Newport County, regardless of where they attend high school or are homeschooled. And the deadline for that is May 9th. Talk about the Tinney Family Arts Scholarship. Where did that originate from? What's the story there?
Well, Harley Tinney's been on our board since the start of the ACA, which was in 1994. And yeah, I mean, she wanted to continue her family's legacy. Of course, she and her husband were the owners of Belcourt Castle, um, and so she wants to support high school artists. And again, I mean, like it's $2,000 for some graduating senior to go to college. Like it doesn't hurt to pay for books or supplies or art and paint or whatever it is. We don't have yet, as of yet, we are still waiting on applicants. So,
Nobody's applied at all.
no, apparently that is the trend right now in all of Rhode Island, but we,
People aren't
you know,
applying for art scholarships and degrees on a Rhode Island basis.
people aren't applying for our support of art scholarships.
Wow.
So they have there's 4 days left to apply, and we hope that we get some because again, it's a great opportunity. We've had some phenomenal applicants who in the past who have received it and have been very successful in doing their work, whether it's a theater, an actress who wants to then get into the art administrative side of things, or a trumpet player, or a you know uh, fine art painter, or whatever it is that truly we've hit all the different mediums, and we hope that we get some sooner than later. Yeah.
Wow. That's an unbelievable statistic, especially given the economic uncertainty right now. And, something to look into for sure for us. You know what? Something I think is really important, having moved from New York to Newport as a musician with my band, settling in, watching Airbnb essentially, not exclusively, but essentially eradicate almost all the workforce housing that was available, and watching the dissolving independent music scene in Newport, which is now basically absent. I mean, sure, you got people playing covers down on Thames Street, but what was once an epicenter of original music and generative spaces has become really a lot of dark houses. And Newport, just a decade ago, seemed like a major resource when it came to original ideas. Today, it seems impossible to access. From your standpoint, how does Newport save itself on an arts level? I'm not talking about the well-funded nonprofit-driven arts, but for actual artists, what are the steps that need to be taken to kickstart the arts community in Newport that, in my view, and I think many people's view, is struggling right now, at least beneath again, that institutional level?
Well, I guess you think of again, even what was it? Well, let's say 20 years ago. Um, like the Pelican, well, the Pelican wasn't around 20 years ago, but I mean, like all like there were just venues that were sell like local owned buildings, and now there's a few conglomerates that have started to buy up everything, and it's just I think that's what's kind of hurting the entire community, be it being a waiter or waitress, or being an artist, or being a musician. I mean, it's just you can't live in Newport anymore, and that's I think a big challenge that, and I know everyone is trying to figure out how to get past that, um, but I think that's the current reality of things until the bubble breaks. I don't know what else is. I don't know what the other way to say it. I mean, I think that um, it's gotten way too high and way too corporate in general. Um, that's the issue. I don't know how to solve it, of course, but I think just supporting, buskers at um, in the parks and all that stuff, that just someone, they're working their butt off to make some money, and if we can help support them a little bit, that would be great.
Yeah, pushing back on what I've been calling the Disneyfication of Newport, where it feels more like Walt Disney World than a vibrant community. This is a crisis of libertarian mindset versus unitarian. Newport has fallen into a libertarian mindset where individual and hypercapitalism has outpaced actual community. The consequences: take a walk down Broadway, compare and contrast from 10 years ago. Perhaps awardees of these scholarships will be, in part, the solution to what we need to do to get out of this, because Newport is still amazing and there's still so much creativity there. And there's people like you, Charles, that are doing the work. And we thank you for really helping to stimulate. It is an uphill battle. So thank you very much.
Well, no problem. I'm going to just say one other thing, that the hospitality industry is a huge commodity to Newport, and it's loved and appreciated by everyone. I mean, we get it. It's just a matter of, how do you have hospitality if you can't have anyone live in the city?
That should be the slogan when you pull into Newport, where it says our sister city is, whatever the list of sister cities, uh, header that comes out from official documents. How can you have hospitality if no one can live there? Charles, great work and appreciate your time.
Hey, thanks so much. I really appreciate it.